This is Emes. We're learning the second page. We're up to Tzei Ulmad. The second Shiur, Ma Bikesh Lovan. We say Ma Bikesh Lovan. Lovan was worse than Paroi. Paroi only made an edict that the male children should be thrown into the Nile. Whereas Lovan Bikesh Laka is Akul. It comes to explain to us that the Golus of Mitzrayim was only for our good, because Lovin wanted to destroy everything. The only Eitzah was by going down to Mitzrayim, because by power of the Golus, the exile servitude was that Bnei Yisrael were under his hand. This was accomplished really by Yosef when he took all of Mitzrayim and they sold their lands and everything to Paro, and he was in charge of everything except for the clergy of Mitzrayim, as the Rebbe Zatal mentions, did not have to sell their lands. This was to make sure that Klal Yisrael would be alone on their own land. And even though they were servants to Paro owned them. Therefore, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu hardened the part of Paro, he hardened the owner of the person of Bnei Yisrael. This is what it says, that he made the edict only on the males. Because Zohar is a concept, the male in the concept of Kabbalah is the one who's mashpia, who influences others, who brings forth what is necessary for the people. He has that power of lashpia, to bring down goodness. And then there's the receiver. The female is considered the receiver, or when you say female, you refer to the receiver as opposed to the giver. And that power was Goizer, that Bnei Yisrael should be only at the level of receiving, so they should not have rulership or strength to influence or to provide. But he did not want to destroy all of Klal Yisrael, because Bnei Yisrael were only in Golus Taras Yodai. But Lavan wanted to destroy everything. He didn't want there to remain any Judaism at all. And by going down to Mitzrayim, they were to merit to leave there by this fact that Lavan's machshava was eliminated from being able to be accomplished. This is what it means. Arami oived ovi. Arami wanted to destroy my father Yaakov vayir Mitzrayim. He came out to Egypt. Shayirei Lavan. Because of Lavan, he had to come down to Egypt. That's the way the Sfas explains it. But technically, Mitzrayim was a refuge from having anything to do with Lavan and his family. And thus, we were able to proceed to expand and become the Jewish nation that we were. In the next step of the Haggadah, we say Matzazu. When we mention Matzazu, we talk about the fact that the dough of our forefathers, when they left Egypt on the 15th in the morning, it didn't have chance to become chometz, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu showed himself upon them suddenly, quickly. Rav Zal, the Siddur, the Rav explains in the Siddur, Ki matzah, the matzah is bread and water together, and there's no change to it. It's just the way you make it, just the way you see it, that's what you get, without any uplifting of itself. Whereas chometz is gases, is haughtiness, because a person who lifts himself up and he thinks he's a blown-up person, as we say, he's full of hot air. That's what happens with bread. When it rises, it becomes full of air. And through that the Kodesh Baruch Hu showed himself to them, they remained in the level of matzah. And so we find the Zohar, Pinchas, in Parshas Zohar Kodesh, in Pinchas. The difference between chometz and matzah is a drop, one nekuda. Because if you look at the hay, there's an opening between the foot, the leg, and the hay. A ches, it's closed completely. Ki hay hu nekuda b'ter hadalad. So Emes wants to say it a little differently, that this leg is the nekuda, is the yud inside the dalad. That he knows that he's nothing. I'm just part of something, because the rest is there. That's the inner Nakuda, the inner point that a person has that Kadosh Baruch Hu gave to Klal Yisrael, and that is what brings us out to be able to accomplish, and we make Venasa Ches Hu Chometz. We're able to elevate ourselves in a spiritual fashion, and from the matzah, we're able to elevate ourselves to a level where after we eat matzah for 7 days, then the rest of the year when we eat chometz, it does not affect us to be haughty, but rather it gives us the ability to elevate ourselves spiritually. Now, this is from the first day of Pesach. Eila Meyadei Hashem. What is that? We say Pirush. This means that on Yom Tov, the inner life of Hashem Yisborach is shown, that what is found in everything. That's why it says Ashetik Roisem Mikroi Kodesh. That Klal Yisrael is the one who decides when it's Rosh Chodesh, as we're going to be announcing Rosh Chodesh this Shabbos, Parshas Vayakov Pekudei Chodesh, and we call it, we make it. Shabbos is Kvi V'Kaim V'Hakodesh Baruch Hu. What comes from the physical world is what is Mikroi Kodesh. I heard from my grandfather, he says, my Adoni Ovi Zikni, Moiri V'Rabbi, my teacher and my mentor, Zecher Tzadik Levrocha, L'chaye Ho'olam Habo. Zecher Tzadik L'chaye Ho'olam Habo, because you can have Kedusha and Yontif, and we can call for Kedusha and Yontif, we can receive it, and the Kedusha also calls to the person. And he explains, Kodesh Hu is a Nikuda Apnimius. It's the inner Kedusha that's there. That is what makes everyone alive and living. It is separated from the Gashmias on Yontiv more so than usual. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is separate from the world in order that the world could be able to exist. Otherwise, if everyone would see the Kedusha, they would all definitely jump to be Kodesh. And it says, Molei, Kol Ha'oretz Kevoidoi, that the whole world is full of His glory. It's all there. Nothing can live without that little bit of chiyus, of life, given to it by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shemachaya HaKoil. He makes everything live. Just that it's hidden in the world. Beyond it becomes visible. That's why it says in the Zohar HaKodesh, Emoy Marav Tuvcho. Show us, tell us, what is the goodness that you have given us? The inner life of a person becomes clearer to him. Because the light of Yontav emanates from the light that was hidden for the tzaddikim, that they understand this even in the physical world. And he writes, just as I wrote in other places as well. And so said my grandfather Zatzal, in the name of the Zohar Kodesh. It's called Yom Toiv. What does it mean? On the words of the Or Ki Toiv, because Toiv was used by light, that it has the light of Toiv in it, of the Toiv, the Or that was created at the time of Bereshis, that illuminates internally, not only externally. That's what we say, May Adam L'Simcha, that festivals were given to us for happiness, for gladness, because when the root of life of a person and of all of existence is seen, thus is a simcha. Therefore, in Yontif, you can find a inner light that is in everything. That's why it says, Yeroe kol zechurcho. That's why there's an obligation of every male to go up to the Beis HaMikdash when the Beis HaMikdash is Kaim, as the Mitzvah Hashem soon will be, to bring a korban to the Beis HaMikdash and go into the Beis HaMikdash to be seen, and Yireh, to see and be seen. That's what the Chazal tell us. A person goes to see and be seen. Just like he comes to see, he comes to be seen. The Gemara says that a Adam can see the inner life of Kedusha, spiritual, that he has. That's called Zechurcha. He remembers it in a way, and maybe it means remembering We have to remember, Yom Tov gives us a chance to remember that which we have within us. Pnei Hashem Alikecho, when it says you will see the face of Hashem Alikecho, Yehoah Kol Zochas Pnei Hashem Alikecho, it's also referring to this inner point that is within everything, which is called Pnei Hashem, the Pneumius. In a sense, he's using the word Pnei like Pneumius, like the inner part of a person which comes from Hashem. And we ask, Vasiyenu, please uplift us, Birkas Moyadecho, that we should have the blessing of the festival. It will to be Liyos Nedova, Nidvak Maaseho Odom B'Sherish. He says, Birkas Moyadecho, we should be attached, a person's actions in the root, Al Yedei Ur HaYom Tov, through the light of Yom Tov. And we can also say Hasiyenu, that lift us up, means Kemoi Masiyan Masuos. When they used to make Chodesh, they used to light torches, and that's like giving light. Hasiyenu is to illuminate for us. Liyos Mekusha, we should be attached, Mishalheves Ahavo, with the flame of love, the Sheyniy Shachayim, to the root of life. Birkas Moyadecho, the blessing of the Moed means Ki Hochiyas Hashono, that the entire chiyus of the year is through the iskashrus, the chiyus of Yom Tov, and that's Mizgala Yom Tov. And we have to hope that we'll have the ability to attach ourselves to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and we should be zoche to be Jews the way we want to be and the way Hashem wants us to be.